Why, hello there, ladies, gentlemen, friends, family, and everybody in between. My name is Dylan from Alter Universes, and on the left we have George Effelis playing a Thopter-founded combo, also known as Jeskai, Urza, Urza-Blade. On the right we have Adam Sitzis playing Dimir Shadow. Let's get into it. This is round 3 of our weekly modern event. Both of these players are 1-1, so they are fighting for credit right now. George led on a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Adam goes Shock Watery Grave play. The newly unbanned Preordained, baby. Card I've yet to play with in Modern. I have not played Modern since... No, that's not true. I did play with the unban. I played, like, the week of the unban, and nobody played Preordained against me. Except for... No, someone did. But I played Ammo Titan, so I wasn't casting Preordains. George, fetch shoots 8, capture, try him here. Hallowed Fountain, land for turn. Going to play a Haywire Might here. Put the fountain in tapped. In a non-shocking fashion. And I'm going to evoke Grief here. Take a look at George's hand. We'll have the effect resolve before it dies. We'll bring it back. We're going to take the 2 non-lands from the hand. That is Teferi Time Reveler and Prismatic Hunting. That is Malakir Rebirth from Zendikar Rising. This is the tapped land one. I think you lose 2 life, and it doesn't get a +1/+1 counter. It is, I think, objectively the worst of the Undying effects, especially with the new, now that there's a new one coming out that's like straight up just another Undying Malice. Undying Evil, whatever the hell they're called.
I'll name Polluted Delta.
Pithing Needle here, naming something. I don't actually remember what he named. Cause I don't... What do you blind name against this deck? You've seen Watery Grave, Grief, and a Thoughtseize, right? No, you've seen a Preordain, a Water Grave, and a Grief. What activated ability? You could name Polluted Delta. Just name it fetch and try to starve mana. That seems like an okay play.
Okay. Smack. 15.
We've re-upped our coffee, folks. I had to stand up and go get coffee. It's the morning ritual, you know. Alright, going to Troll. Swamp Cycle here. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Khazad-dûm. I don't know how it's pronounced. And I know people who will judge me for not knowing how it's pronounced. So. But it's okay. The one who will judge me the harshest will not watch this video. I am safe. Grief attacking in here. Doing some things. Menace is a good keyword. That's crazy. I don't think I've cast Grief since Modern Horizons 2 has come out. And it's much better of a card. Like, the decks it's in now are much better than it was back then. Haywire might attack. Soul Guide Lantern. Going to exile probably the Troll.
Troll. And then I'll eat the rest of your graveyard.
If you hear a ding, I apologize. That is someone texting me. And my computer informing me. Grief cracks in for 3.
Attack you. Yep.
Might attacks in for 1. There's a 1 ring, gets protection.
Trigger. Pass.
What a card to play on an empty hand. Ring is so good. Draws a card. See, that's the thing. I'm going to Columbus for the 20K in a couple weeks, and the deck I'm playing currently is not a one... Like, the current deck I'm planning on playing is not a 1-ring deck, and I don't know if I love that. It just feels wrong to me to not play the 1-ring. Maybe I am wrong. Very real possibility. But there's also like 1-ring options I just don't want to play. Like Tron. I've picked up the pieces of Tron over the last month just to have them in case I want to play it. And I don't know. We'll see. I was gifted a set of the Tron lands by a customer in front of mine, Ed Pimble. So, Ed, if you're watching this, shout out to you. But, I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know if I want to play Tron at a big event. Though, O2ing with Tron and then dropping to go play Fab side events does sound kind of funny. So, and appropriately in line for me. Alright, tapping the ring, drawing cards. Now, I will have a momentary level of confusion in the upkeep here, because I forgot the Minamo can untap the ring and allow George to draw cards, so I'll be like, oh, aren't you at this? When he's not. I think he'll be at 8, something like that. I thought we were just into his turn. Could just play Titan. That is an option.
Alright. We'll go to 6.
Is that right? You were intended 9. Shouldn't you take 2 last turn?
I untapped it with Minimo and put an extra counter on
Though
it.
Murktide popping back up.
I'm less confused now.
I do like casting blue-red spells. Maybe I just play Murktide.
Goblin Engineer?
Sure.
Alright, Goblin Engineer here. Going to send a Sword of the Meek to the yard. Alrighty. So now that it's in the yard, if we have a Thopter Foundry, we can be right there on establishing the combo.
Dr. Foundry?
There's the Foundry. And Adam just going to scoop it up. Unable to beat the advantage that George is going to have there, so we're going to hop into game 2 with Adam playing Thoughtseize. We haven't played a land yet, or haven't put one into play yet. It's probably fetching and shocking and taking 2 damage on a 15. I think this is during the judge call that I had to do. There was definitely a judge call this round, and it was a strange one. It was one that I have not had to think about ever. It's Angel's Grace versus Ragavan. I was like, who's playing Angel's Grace? I looked down and I saw the pieces to Admirals on the board. I was like, oh, cool. I like this deck. A deck that I kind of miss being in the format. You know, I miss Simine Spirit Guide. I don't even know if the deck was like that good. That you have to like, I don't know. I don't know.
Get out of
yeah.
here.
I was so grumpy when they banned Simian Spirit Guide. It was like story time. Time Spiral Remastered was coming out soon, and I had decided that I was going to build Ad Nauseam because I was like, most of it, I was like, a lot of the expensive stuff is getting reprinted. I'll buy the deck. It'll be great. I like combo decks, and I was like, there's no way it's not doing anything to format. There's no way it gets hit. And then like a week before TSR comes out, BNR update, Simian Spirit Guide's banned. I walked into work so dejectedly. Dan had come in, and he was like, I'm sorry, bud. I was like, this is I have had cards that I've had more cards that I actually have played with and love banned out from underneath of me than not. And I'm still mad, more upset about the Simian Spirit Guide ban at that time.
It is your turn.
Spell Pierce. I was like, why did the Talisman go to the yard? The Pierce, that would make sense. Murktide. coming out here as a 5/5.
Thunder Foundry?
Thopter Foundry. George will be able to make pseudo on-demand blockers for the Murktide region as long as he's able to get an artifact into play consistently.
Thunder Foundry?
Double Thopter Foundry. Looks like 2 cards in hand for George here. Cracking him 4/5. Puts George to 8.
I'm at 7.
7. I imagine we're just getting a triumph here, right? Okay, gets a tap scheme instead. I imagine he plays Rogern Triumph over the Ketria. Maybe Ketria is just for the 4th type for Prismatic Ending. And instead it just opts to have the on-demand white mana that he can fetch out untapped with the plains, and I'm sure there's like a Hollowed Fountain or something in there. Alright, here comes Urza, Lord High Artificer. Probably getting countered. I would like to think. Okay, will be dismembered in response to
In response to this
the
move, I'll tap this for mana,
trigger.
sacrifice it to itself to gain a life and make a top.
Going to make a Thopter off of this.
So I go to 8.
Not paying any life for the dismember.
No. This is dead.
Alright, cool.
I'm at 8. And I'll make a windswept teeth.
George did gain a life off the Foundry activation. Went up to 8. There's a kind of kill on sight here for Adam. Can't let George combo kill him.
I can attack you for 4.
Is it infinite life with just Thopter Foundry? Or do you need the sword?
I will not block. Take 5. Go to
I know sword is infinite Thopters. Pretty sure it's infinite life though with just Thopter Foundry, right? Because you can tap the Thopter to pay for... Yeah, okay. I've never actually played the deck. I've played against it a couple times, but... And of course George has been on camera before. It's another Urza.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll attack you for 4.
Goes to attack. Alright, well I assume since we're not doing it, maybe Thopter Foundry has to sack a non-token artifact. Non-token artifact. Okay, cool. Not infinite. Would be infinite if it said just sacrifice an artifact. Here's second Murktide. Going to grow the first Murktide by 1. 2. 2. Alright, we're going to have to spin Urza here. Try and find either Sword of the Meek or a way to remove that Murktide Regent. Because then the constructs would be lethal.
Alright, well. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. How do I spin it? How do I spin it? Let's go to 2.
Fetches down to 2. If he has a second basic, is it worth it to fetch again?
1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Activate
Try and
Urza.
remove the possibility of hitting a land from the deck.
You can't have more than 2 Sword of the Meeks in this whole list, right? There's no way. Alright, that's the one. Flip it.
And it is an auto Udawara, which will do nothing here.
3 and die.
And that'll be game 2 going to Adam. Do we flip the top card? We do. It is a Path to Exile. That would get rid of the Murktide
The
Regent.
next one was a Path to Exile, which would have let me kill him.
And that would have won the game for George. I feel like it's the first time we've seen Path to Exile in a very long time. I don't think I've seen it in a while. It has to be a while. I know I've been pathed by Burn as Titan post MH2, but I think that's still like 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Nice. Steam Vents, Pluto Delta, Flooded Strand. The camera's very washed out currently. Check this box of goodies to see if there's any cards I need to pull out of it.
Goblin Engineer?
Seems like they're bulk from Lord of the Rings.
And I'll pass after that.
Alright. LOTR bulk, baby. Goblin Engineer. Dumps a Sword of the Meek into the yard. Briefly looked like a cast into the fire. At very quick land. Notably, my eyes don't work well. Alright, Urza Saga. Land for turn.
Combat. Attack. Ah, you do have bow.
Orcish Bowmaster's getting flashed in. We'll deal a point of damage to the engineer. And then Adam just saying I'm going to block with the token. George, in response, going to Galvanic Blast that Bowmaster.
Your Bowmaster?
Engineer dies in combat damage. Or due to combat.
What a 12. 12.
Adam fetching. And most likely shocking here, as he is a Shadow deck. Though I don't think he's played Shadow at all, so George might not know. Though you could probably just infer. Comes the Death Shadow. Speak of the devil.
Your turn. Fetch.
Fetching. Shocking going to 9. I'll have a 4/4 Shadow in play.
Combat. You're there. 4. No blocks. Damage. 15.
Alright, EE on 0.
You got it. I'll make a construct. It's a 1/1. It'll trigger Sword of the Meek. Resolve Urza-Saga.
Do your tutoring.
Alright, Sword of the Meek, Construct,
You're on 2
Springleaf
lands,
Drone.
you have balls to just rip out the Pithing Needle. I'll let it happen.
Well, there's retro framed artifacts in play. George's gonna have retro framed shock soon, I hope.
Thopter Foundry.
Thopter Foundry gets spell pierced. It does have floating mana from the Urza-Saga. That wasn't represented, but it was there. Going to counter spell. Adam's saying, yeah, no, that can't resolve. Hey, Sacred Foundry, there's the white source. Shadow cracks in for 4.
I'm at 11.
Hardcast Grief can take a look at the hand. Sees Thopter Foundry, Celestial Purge. Oh god. And 2 cards we can't see off camera. Takes the 1 ring, makes sense. Oh, Urza's the other card. Foundry getting played here. I was like, I wonder if it's better to cast the Urza through protection while Adam has no cards, but I mean, he definitely has more removal for creatures than he probably does artifacts. So George can no, Purge is just red or black permanent. I have to find a way to remove the EE.
I'll block Death Shadow. The guy is a 5/6.
Alright, Adam gonna let the shadow die. Grief gonna get in for some damage. We'll say go. Can't see what's in his hand.
I'll sacrifice my Sword of the Meek to the Thopter Foundry. Gain a life. Make a 1/1.
So once you sack him,
This will die. I will tap it for mana first instead of the Sacred Foundry, and then this will die.
I see. Okay.
Right, because that was 4 power, and this is
Gonna make a Thopter. This will
I'll gain a
return the
life,
sword
I'll
to
make
the
a
board.
Thopter, which will trigger the Sword of the Meek.
George then going to sack the sword. Oh, okay. Didn't sack the sword.
Thinking in your end step.
no, you can untap in your open.
pay you. I go 8. While you're tapped out, I will Celestial Purge your grief.
Alright, Celestial Purge on the grief here.
He's on 9, I am on 8.
9 versus 8.
Yeah, I'm on 8, he's on 9.
Life-wise, probably missing interaction.
He does have a playset of Watery Grave in play.
Well, he's had that. I saw that. I thought about it too. I was like, that's a pretty place out of water. I honestly don't think I've ever had a place out of water agreement play in my life. So
You should be playing Shadow. And then it'll be more likely.
I could play in Columbus. I don't have.
Alright, Murktide here.
Yep.
George consults the hand, says, yep, that's good.
It's 2, 3. 3? Okay, 6, 6.
Alright, 6/6 Murktide. Says go.
I'll sacrifice Sword of the Meek.
Going to sack the sword to the Foundry, getting life, make it Thopter, bring back the sword.
Go to...
Can do it again with the Springleaf Drum if he wants to.
I'll tap the Thopter.
Is the case, goes to 10.
Make a guy gain a life. Trigger Sword of the Meek. Go to 10.
Can't tell what the one card in Adam's hand is. It kind of looks like a subtlety. It's an Aether Spellbomb here. Says go. Does George not have Urza in his hand anymore? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're there.
Doesn't he? Am I missing something?
Consider. You got it.
Consider.
Gain a life, make a Thopter. Gain a life, make a Thopter. Gain a life, make a Thopter. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Go up to 13.
Strand is a land for turn. Fetch cast Urza.
Go to 12.
I'm just unsure about us not casting the Urza last turn. I mean, you do that Thopter play, which is pretty good. But, I don't know.
I will try to make a Teferi, the Time Raveler.
Fairy Time Raveler.
Two. It was I'll plus 1 with Teferi.
Raveler will resolve. Plus it's to 5, says go most likely.
Cassie, no, I lied.
Nope, does opt to play something.
I'll Soul Guide Lantern, and I'll eat your
Soul Guide Lantern.
and then I'll pass.
Let's cycle. It's an island, so we cycled with Lorien Revealed. We'll exile both yards here at the Soul Guide Lantern. That will grow the Murktide.
Okay. It's a nice swamp too. Got good style.
All right, I'm just gonna scoop it up. George will take it 2-1 with Thopter Foundry combo over Dimir Shadow. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.